This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2024 Salem Cruise Lite Platinum Edition, model number 273 QBXL. This is not a floor plan or a sales video, it's a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So let's get with it. First of all, you have the quick drop jacks, which basically drop into place and then you just snug them up with your crank. You don't have to crank them all the way down like you normally would. You have a grip on this. You have a cooktop for your griddle, or I should say you have a griddle. Now right here, you see there's a quick connect fitting right there. That's to hook up to the gas system. Let me see if the hose is here or if it's elsewhere. Let me look around a bit. Well, I'll point it out when I get to it. There's going to be a rubber hose that is used to get LP from the system, the trailer system, to that appliance. You're going to let's see, plug it in right over here, I believe. Yes, there's another quick connect, female, so you'll be able to plug it in there and bring gas to the griddle. All right. You have also a refrigerator. This is a port for a sprayer right here for water. That comes with the trailer too. Well, I'll show you that when we get to it. You have a TV signal here, plus power if you want to put a TV out here. You got a power awning with LED strip. Outside speakers. This is the vent for your range hood, so if you're going to be running the fan in the range hood, you can break this free like it is, so it flaps freely and vents to the outside. Otherwise, you can just snap it shut when you're traveling or in storage. You have a freshwater drains down here, that white gate valve right there. Now, this is the way you fill that freshwater tank right here. The most common way to get water to the trailer is the city water hookup, which is on the other side. I'll show it to you when we get there. But on those occasions where you're camping someplace that does not have a city water hookup, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. All the plumbing will work as though you have city water, even though you'll be pumping it from the tank. So if you have city water, you don't have to worry about the tank or the pump. But if you don't have city water, you can still use all the plumbing on the trailer, in the trailer, by pre-filling your tank and using the pump. So this has on-demand water, hot water. Okay, so the switch is inside. I'll show you that when we get in there. Just keep in mind that there's a master switch right here. It's on right now, but just so you know it's there, in case you can't get power and it somehow gets bumped or whatever. But I'll talk to you about how it works when we get in there. Excuse me. Okay, so you're getting the hitch with this, so it's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. I'll show you how that works when we pick up. This is your coiled sprayer I told you about right here. Up on the wall there are your two cranks. The larger crank is your 3/4 inch crank for your stabilizers. The smaller crank is for this power tongue jack. If your power tongue jack happens to fail for whatever reason, you can pull this plug, put the crank on there, and you can operate it manually in an emergency. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. You can always get yourself out of trouble. This is the kill switch for your battery. You can shut the battery off right here if you want to. Of course, you have a Deep Cycle Marine battery here. You have 2 LP tanks full with automatic changeover regulator. Your dump hose. Okay. We come around. This is your short cord here. It's 30-foot, 30-amp cord. So we give you that. Plus we give you the reducer to reduce it down to a 20 amp, so you can plug it in at home if you need to light it up while you're packing it up or whatever. Okay, so this is your sewer hookup. You have your gray tank valve here. Gray tank is sink, shower, and water. Sink and shower water. The black tank is toilet water and waste, so you have that also. If you come back here, you can see that this is a black tank flush right here. So, like it says on this sticker, if you dump your black tank valve, or dump your black tank, I'm sorry, and make sure you leave the valve open. You leave the valve open, then you can put the hose at the dump station on here, turn it on, and it'll spray out the inside of your tank, flush it out. It will clean off the sensor so you get a good accurate reading, that sort of thing. So if there's a working hose at the dump station, it's a really good thing to do. Just make sure you leave the valve open before you turn the water pressure on, okay? And of course, this is your city water hookup, the most common way to get water to the trailer. If you have that, you don't have to worry about the filling the fresh water tank or using the pump or anything like that. You just hook up to here and you're all set, ready to go. Alrighty. This housing tells us is pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera kit if you're interested in getting that. This hookup here is in case you wanted to get a Lippert telescoping ladder to go on there. This makes it easier to access the roof. Keep in mind that the manufacturer states every 60 to 90 days you should inspect the roof. Make sure there's no cracking or separation at any of the sealant. Make sure there's no way that any water can get through and damage your trailer. Make sure there's been no damage caused by low branches to the roofing attachments or to the roofing material, that sort of thing. So just make sure that everything's in good shape. You can't tell if there's anything wrong with the roof unless you actually look, obviously. So it's important to have someone go up there and take a look, just to make sure everything's in good shape. You're protecting your investment, so it should be part of your regular maintenance. The keys are hanging here on the faucet. Okay, so this is your solar controller. You have a solar panel. It's hard to see it from here, so I'll just talk to you about it. There's going to be 3 screens that come up. Okay. The double one coming up is the most important one, 13.6 volts DC in the trailer. Below it tells you what you're gaining when it comes to amperage. So those are the two you use the most anyway. So okay, when it comes to you have your power awning here, as you can see there. Just make sure you don't leave it out unattended if you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in. And you have your slide room right here. These are lights. Your water pump is right here. Use that water pump, like I said, to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. You also use it to winterize the trailer. This is a dimmer. You just rub your thumb on it and it goes up, the lights go on and off. And of course those are light switches. You have your levels, battery, fresh water, black and gray are both empty. Okay. Alrighty, so as we come in, you have your sound bar. The sound bar has FM radio, no AM, just FM. It has a USB drive here. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or your tablets. This HDMI is an in, so if you want to go into the system, let's say you put a TV up here, you want to go into the system with a portable Blu-ray player or something, you can go right in there. So, very capable. Let me look around in here, see where this stuff's at. We have a new guy who's prepped it, and we're not all on the same page yet. Okay, so this remote is for your sound bar, and this one is for your fireplace. So you can see, I just turned it on there. It's hard to see what's happening, but right now I just turned the fan on high, so it's really kicking out the heat now. You got off, low, and high. You can change the color of the crystals. Okay, and it has a timer on it, so you can do a lot with it. It's a really good space heater. So keep in mind that if those days where it's not quite cold enough to run the furnace, you can use this, and you don't use up your limited supply of LP. You're using campground electricity, so that's a good thing. This red light tells us when you hook up your TV, it's going to go on here. The coax will go on here, right? You always want this on. There's a button that you can shut it off, but you always want it on. It tells you your digital antenna is on. This is telling us that this is pre-prep for a signal, a public Wi-Fi signal booster. So if you go to kingconnect.com, you can look at the different pre-wired kits. But this would consider the most common one would consist of a router that goes here, and then an antenna that goes on the roof. There's also another panel up there where you can hook an antenna. And basically you have a router and a signal booster, and so your family will get much better Wi-Fi from the public Wi-Fi. You would set up all their phones and tablets so it would log on to the router automatically when it's searching for Wi-Fi, and then whoever is in charge, or it could be more than one person, whatever. You go to the web page. You'll get the address for the web page. You go there in a browser. You log in. You'll be able to see everything the Wi-Fi Ranger or the King Wi-Fi booster sees, and pick out the public Wi-Fi and log on to it. So everything logs onto the router automatically. Then you just log the router onto the public Wi-Fi. So if you're interested in having better Wi-Fi, you can pursue that. It's pre-wired for that, for the King Connect products. Okay. See what else we have here. This is just literature, so it's just all the information for the different products in your trailer, the different attachments and what have you. So you can drop this tabletop down onto the cleats. You see they got wooden cleats there. Then you can use the cushions to fill in the space. You get another bed. This one here jackknifes flat, so you can turn this to a bed also. You can configure these here, the different configurations, as you can see. So there's different things you can do with this whole sofa / dinette area. So keep that in mind. I'm going to shut this off so it doesn't get too hot here. Okay, so your microwave works like any other microwave. Your vent, your range hood, it's got a fan on it, right? Also has a light. Now when you're running that fan, like I told you, you want to pop the baffle loose on the vent on the outside so air can pass freely to the outside. Otherwise you can just keep it snapped shut. I don't know if he's got the gas hooked up here. Let me see. Basically you have your sparker. You turn this clockwise to spark. Then you have the 3 knobs for the 3 burners, and then you have this last knob which is for the oven. So let me see if it's turned on here. No. But if it was, when I turn it on there, I spark it, it'll light, okay? When it comes to your last knob, there's a pilot light all the way at the back here in the oven, the bottom and the back. Let me see if we can, yeah, you can see it sparking back there. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the picture of the flame, then you depress this. You keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure. After it lights down here, you'll still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple, and then you go to operating temperature, and it cycles as an oven does, of course. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always travel with this shut. Okay, your refrigerator is 12 volt DC. Okay. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If not, get it serviced. And don't wait, just immediately get it serviced. It's obviously very important. Okay. This is your thermostat here. It's very simple. You just push it until you get to mode. Right now we're off. I'll go with air conditioning. So you go to cool, then you click it. Then you go to fan, and it says auto high. That's good. And then you can set the temperature to the last thing you do right here. So that's that simple. You click that. So now you're running at 63 degrees high auto fan with air conditioning. So it's very simple. I'm just going to shut it back off here because I don't really need it. So it's off. There you go. Shut the fan off and you're all set. Okay, so the bathroom, the sink and shower work like any other sink and shower, of course. The toilet works like all travel trailer toilets in that you have a flush pedal right here. You have to have chemical and water in it. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. Then you're going to come in here. You're going to dump a dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you're going to step on the flush pedal here to hold it down and let water just flow into the tank below along with the chemical. You put at least a gallon of water in there. You can use more, but just not less. So at least a gallon of water in there along with your chemical, then it's ready to be used. If you don't do that, if you use it dry, the smell will be terrible, like super terrible, and it will also get clogged up. So you always want your chemical and at least a gallon of water to start off with. Alright, and then you have a fan up here, obviously. You got to crank the lid up and you got a switch there. Alrighty, let me shut this off. Okay, so we'll go to the bunk room. The bunk room is this couch can jackknife flat into a bed, so really you have 4 bunks in here. Let me see what we have here. This goes up, and it's got a gas strut on it to hold it up, so you can sit there comfortably. You have a TV signal out plus power, so you can put a TV right up here if you choose to. This is your power converter right here. So this converts AC to DC power. So on this side you're going to have regular 110 AC circuit breakers like you'd see at home, and then of course they're labeled. So when you're plugged in, this is sort of your power distribution panel, just like you'd have at home. Then the power is converted from 110 AC to 12 volt DC on this side. So you have 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled, right? So that's where the 12 volt power comes from. This is also a battery tender, so it'll detect your battery up front on your tongue automatically, and it'll constantly check to see how much energy is in your battery. So as long as you're plugged in, it's going to send as many amps necessary to keep your battery charged on the tongue. Of course, when your tow vehicle is pulling the trailer, the alternator on your tow vehicle will charge the trailer through the charge line, charge the battery. This charges it when you're plugged in right here. Okay, it's the power converter. All right, let's keep moving here. We'll go up to the bedroom. Bedroom has a mechanical bed on it, so you can go up and down here into a sitting mode or laying flat, whichever you want. You have TV hookups here, and there's a backing plate so you can put a TV on a bracket right there so you can see it when you're laying down in bed. This is your emergency window. You just pull it down and slide it over and pull the screen out. Very simple. Or screen over. So it's a basic bedroom, but it does everything. You've got like a clothes chute here, or a hamper bag, I guess you call it. Okay. Alrighty. So I showed you the controller for the AC, or excuse me, for the solar panel. So I mentioned that when you're plugged into shore power, your power converter will charge the battery. When you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will be charging the battery, and then the solar panel will charge the battery as it can. You know, depending on the climate outside, the conditions, you know, the time of day, the position of the sun, all that stuff affects it, and but it will store amperage in your battery. Okay. Okay. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember to inspect your roof regularly. That should be part of your regular maintenance. And I did forget one thing, did I not? Didn't I? Let me look here. Where did I see it now? It's around here. Let me look for it. Bear with me, please. Aha. So this is the controller for your on-demand water. So you turn it on there. I don't know how well you can see it in the sunlight, but it's set at, right now it's 73 degrees Fahrenheit. You go up and down with it. 120 is pretty typical. 115 you see. So it's up to you. That's the temperature it's gonna come out as. You can set from Celsius to Fahrenheit here. So basically when it's on, as long as there's a water supply, because it does have a safety in it, if there's not a water supply like city water hooked up, or let's say there's not water in your fresh water tank and the pump's not on, it'll sense that and it will not light the gas burner. So there are safeties. But if all those conditions are present, as soon as you turn on the hot water, it'll light up and it'll give you a steady flow of hot water for your sink and for your shower. So it's a really cool thing. It's on-demand water heater, and this is the control right here. Okay. All right, that's what I forgot to show you. So, okay, so remember what I said about inspecting the roof, and right now the antifreeze has been purged from the system and replaced with fresh water. So it's all set for the summertime, and you're ready to go in that sense. Okay. Any more questions when you come to pick it up, you can just ask us and we'll talk to you about it. And we'll see you when you get here, okay? Thank you.